Nick returned to the house that had once been so familiar, now left in utter disarray, littered with debris. The home, which had been filled with laughter and joy yesterday, had now turned into ruins. The dust-covered table bore remnants of photos, striking Nick's heart once more. He carefully tucked it away, then retrieved a box from beneath the steps, containing some weapons. As a police officer, Nick already knew that the one seeking revenge against him was the gang boss, Victor. He arrived at a restaurant and began firing wildly, grabbing a waiter to demand information about Victor's whereabouts. Soon, he obtained an address, a bar. As he examined the photo, Nick's thirst for revenge intensified. So after killing Victor's henchmen in the restaurant, he lit a fire and burned down the entire restaurant. Victor is the leader of a gang that survives on drug trafficking and human trafficking. After luring victims into their grasp, the gang confines them and transports them as commodities to various parts of the world. After tracking down Victor's whereabouts, the police immediately deployed a large number of SWAT teams to apprehend him. During the ensuing confrontation, Nick successfully killed one of the gang members, only to discover that he was actually Victor's son, their most beloved and future heir to the family's empire. This blow devastated Victor, who, staring at Nick, warned him that if he didn't kill him now, he would never stop. Nick knew the gang's formidable influence and that Victor had 3 other sons. Though he could have simply fired a shot and finished the job with random gunfire, his duty as a police officer ultimately made him lower his weapon. Victor was successfully apprehended, but no one anticipated the immense power behind him, so vast that an entire nation resorted to diplomatic maneuvers and political pressure. Moreover, Victor shifted all the blame to his subordinates, and within days, he was acquitted and released. The first thing Victor did after being released from prison was to seek revenge for his son. The brutal deaths of his wife and daughter made Nick refuse to let it go. Since justice would not prevail, he resolutely chose the path of vengeance. Upon learning of Victor's hiding place, Nick promptly boarded a plane and swiftly arrived in the country where Victor was located. However, the Los Angeles police were aware of his whereabouts and dispatched officers Reed and local police Nung to jointly apprehend him at the airport. Yet Nick spotted Reed and immediately turned to flee. But this scene was still noticed by Nung and his colleagues. When they observed Nick in the basement parking lot, Reed clearly saw him but remained silent. Instead, he grabbed a colleague and shot him dead. The gunshot drew Nung's attention, but when Reed rushed over, he unexpectedly fired at himself before tossing the pistol to Nick. At that moment, Nick had no idea that Reed was actually Victor's undercover agent, whose sole purpose was to shift blame for the police officer's death onto Nick, aiming to divert suspicion, hinder, and even eliminate Nick. Due to Reed pointing Nung in the right direction, he quickly caught up with Nick. Seeing this, Nung raised his gun and fired. Until then, Nick realized that there were no bullets in the handgun Reed gave him, and he had a premonition that he had been deceived, so he could only take the opportunity to escape quickly. Unfortunately, Nung chased closely behind him because in his eyes, Nick was not just an out-of-control police officer,